Okay, it's time to talk about Fastlane. But first, before I talk about Fastlane, I just want to give my thoughts on the whole CM Punk, Chris Amon story. So, some of you may or may not have heard, well, if you're in wrestling, you follow the internet, you probably already know. Dr. Chris Amon, I think that's how you say his last name. I really don't give a fuck because I'm on Punk's side here. CM Punk in November appeared on Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast. Basically broke the internet worse than Kim Kardashian. Telling his tell-all story about why he walked out on WWE. Basically, he was tired, he was sick, he was bruised up, they wouldn't give him any time off. And apparently he had a growth on his lower back underneath his waistline of his tights that was diagnosed as a fatty deposit, and he was given C-packs, antibiotics, to try and kill the infection. And it got worse, and then he walked out. And then, still in pain, a month or so later, his now wife, AJ Lee, told him to go see a doctor, to go look at. And that doctor diagnosed it as MRSA, as a staph infection. And had he continued wrestling on it, he probably would be dead by now. So they popped it, shit squirted out, and now he's in no more pain. He feels great. And he told all this on the Colt Cabana podcast, basically calling him out, saying, "You're a piece of shit. You misdiagnosed me. I could have died because of you." Now, Chris Amon is suing CM Punk and Colt Cabana for $1 million for, according to this, defamation of character. Basically saying, "Oh, you can't say this because I'm a good doctor. I do good work and all this stuff." Listen, misdiagnosis happens all the time. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. When I first started dating Melanie, we went to a water park that's local here to us. And we have this thing called the wave pool. And if you've never been to a water park before, it has one of these things. It's just basically a giant cement slab. It's about, I don't know how many feet wide, how many feet. It's roughly 3 feet deep if farther you go out. It's supposed to simulate a beach. And in this wave pool, they have this gigantic, house in the background. And basically, there's just like these mechanical things in the back that are just swashing the water up and down to create waves. So we're in there, and water splashing around. It's all getting in my ears. Not only that I had the problem with I had a bad. They put too much chlorine in the water. I had actually a bad eye irritation. I had to flush out my eyes. It was really bad. But what had happened was enough water got into my ear that a whole bunch of wax started solidifying. It like dripped down and made a blockage in my ear. I couldn't hear out of this ear for a good week and a half, 2 weeks, and I couldn't figure out why. So I don't have a family doctor because my family doctor passed away years ago, and I'm on a waiting list for Melanie's family doctor, but who knows whenever I'll get in. So in the meantime, I've got to go to free clinics and go speak to those doctors. So I go in this free clinic, and she looks at my ear, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of blockage there." She was French. And I was like, "Okay, well, what do we do?" She's like, "Well, I can't do nothing about it. Well, you do go home, take some Q-tips, put some vegetable oil in, and it'll loosen up the wax. You put that in your ears, and it loosen up the wax, and then you come back in a week, and then we'll see." I'm like, "All right, fine. Why should I question her? She's, medical practitioner. She knows her shit, right?" So I end up doing that. I put the oil in my ear for about a week and a half. And I go back. We're on the same time because I want the same doctor, right? So I'll just be like, okay. And I get a male doctor. Not the same one. So I was like, "Oh, I forget her name." And he's like, "Oh, she's not on duty today. Well, let me take a look here." I said, "Okay, well, I was in last week. I have wax. She told me to put vegetable oil in, and I don't think it's loosening up. But she said to come in and take a look." And he's just like, "Yeah, I don't know why she told you that. I could have flushed that out for you a week ago." I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" So what they do is they take like this giant plastic syringe. It's about like that big around. And they open it up with like very diluted water, no minerals, no particles or anything like that. And what they do is they put this little bowl underneath your ear and they stick it in and then they flush it out. It's like a high pressure going in, It popped out. The wax was about that big around. It was like a pea. It was enough to block my hearing. After that, I feel wind going through it, and it was nice and cool and all nice. Moral of the story is that doctors are dumbasses sometimes. And it's our God-given right to call them on their bullshit. So, you know what? This lawsuit's not going to go anywhere because he's going to bring in the other doctor that popped that MRSA and says, yeah, it's a MRSA. How the fuck did you completely miss that? Cut off this lawsuit and give the man his money. And tell the man you're sorry that you almost got him killed. But whatever. Buck's in a better place now. He's writing Thor. His new issue of Thor is out. Go buy it. I'm actually going to go buy it Tuesday. I think it comes out Tuesday. So I'm going to go buy it. Not hard to miss. I mean, it's got regular Thor with an axe, Lady Thor with the hammer, and it's like written by CM Punk. Not Phil Brooks, CM Punk. So if you see a Thor issue with CM Punk on it, go buy it. Support the man. Alright, Fastlane. I don't know what the pre-match show was because I didn't watch the pre-show. I saw the last bit of Miz TV where the crowd was popping for Mizdow, and he's just like, you sit in the corner, and when I do this, you stop. And then Paul just did his solo, like, oh, it doesn't matter who wins because they will lose to yada yada Brock Lesnar. Okay. So, what a way to open your pay-per-view. Don't start with anything hot. Put what you know will be the shittiest match on the card on first. Oh man. Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, and Eric Rowan versus Seth Rollins, Big Show, and Kane. Quick thing, 2 hot tags for the faces, and the heels pick up the win. The other thing I really retweeted on this is that loving Jamie Noble at ringside because the heels are putting the faces in the corner and they're pounding away and they're backing off at 4 and Jamie Noble's on the side is like, he got till 5, ref, he got till 5. It's something that a lot of the heel indie guys do. It's just like, he's like, you beating a guy in the corner, he's like, yeah, get out of the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, alright, back him out of the corner. He's like, what was the count at? 4. How long do I got till? 5. There you go. I'm going to keep pounding him until you say 4. Not breaking the rules now, am I? This was a nothing match. It was quick and dirty. You know, crowd still pops for Ziggler because, you know, he bumps like a motherfucker. Nobody cares about Eric Rowan. They should never have broken those guys up. Here's the funny thing. Where the fuck was Luke Harper? He was not on this show at all. Like, ever since he lost the IC belt, and he had, like, a few matches with Rowan, he's gone. Big Show and Kane end up getting the big victory because he did, like, a flying knockout punch from the side, and that was enough to put Ziggler down. So after the match, everyone gangs up on it. It's like, oh, this isn't right. And it's like, why don't the fucking refs do anything? I still want my gimmicked refs that are as jacked up as the pro wrestlers. And when they don't follow the rules, the refs have the right to lay their hands on the wrestlers. Maybe even cost them the match. It's just like, you know, you push the ref, it's like, oh, I do what I want. Ref super kicks the guy, puts the face on top of him, 1, 2, 3, fast count. It's just like, hey, you want to talk shit about me again? I'll fuck you over in the ring. So yeah, he starts curb stomping everyone left and right, and everyone's chanting for Randy Orton. I'm just like, is it really this pay-per-view they're gonna bring him back on? And yep, I hear voices, starts playing. But here's the problem with Orton, the way he came back. He was in his wrestling tights. You haven't been seen or heard from since November. Since Triple H and the Authority stabbed you in the back and went with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins curb stomped you. And you went off and filmed the Condemned 2, or 12 rounds, round 3, or whatever stupid WWE films you're making. On your first night back, why are you dressed in your ring attire if you're not going to wrestle? You don't need to be in tights, boots, and elbow pads to do RKOs. That's all you did. Sorry, I'm still coming off a cold. Like, seriously, like, I'm glad he's back to, like, you know, start this feud up with Rollins, but, God. Logistics. Just come out in street clothes. It's fine. God, where are we now? What was after that? RKO. Alright. Backstage, vignette of the Rhodes brothers exploding. And then Dusty Rhodes comes in. Now with a whole lot of jive, he ain't going like, listen, you can't beat up Cody. Cody's the shining star. He's just like, I know, Pop, I know. He's like, he's not doing his Goldust stuff. It's just like, hey, I'm Dustin. I just got face paint on me. But you know what? I like this. It's like, oh, the family's being torn apart. It's like, I'm going to beat him so bad, he's not going to want to put face paint on it anymore. So, Stardust comes out. New attire. He doesn't have, like, the full bodysuit. He's just got long tights. Actually looks a lot like Macho Man's. Half face paint. Gives a little nod to Eden. If you didn't catch it, he kind of gives like Eden this cold stare. If you guys don't know, Eden's his kayfabe, real life wife. God, I can't remember her real name. So this actually was a pretty good match. Problem being is they do a lot of bitch slapping in the early goings, and a lot of taunts like from Cody and all that. And then, like, after all that, Goldust extends his hand. And it's like, you bitch slapped him, like, several times. Like, if I was in a match and someone bitch slapped me, it was just like, oh, man, let's have a good match. I was like, fuck you. You just slapped me in the face. Why would I shake your hand? Okay, so this was the most botched up finish I've seen in a while. So Stardust goes for Crossroads or Dark Matter, whatever it says here on this cheat sheet, the results. So he goes for that, but Goldust reverses it into a snapmare. It took kind of like a baseball slide. The ref goes 1, 2, but he doesn't slap his hand down all the way for 3. But then he rolls up and goes, ring the bell! And I'm like, okay. Why would you not slap it all the way down? We used to have a ref with the independent league I used to be with, and we used to have false count anywhere matches. And in mind, we couldn't afford blue mats, still can't. But the referee, to his credit, would slap the concrete with such force to get that across to the people that I am legitimately counting. I will always applaud that. He was one of our best referees. This guy was just like 1, 2, and whatever. Now, the ending was actually pretty good. And I'll tell you why. Well, it was also a little bit bad because, okay, so Goldust and Stardust, Goldust got the win. He's just like giving the hands, like, come on, let's be brothers again. And then Stardust just walks out. So Cody and Dusty Rhodes are in the back. And they're just kind of talking. He's just like, I had to do it, Dad. I had to do it. And then Stardust was like, oh, reunion. You didn't invite me, huh? And he just starts beating up on Goldust. Dusty just stands there, kind of with his hands in his pockets. He's just like, hey, no, Cody, don't do it. Stop beating on your brother. Stop it. And then he's just like, what's the matter with you, Cody? And it's like, and he looks at him with like such anger, and he just says, Cody? No. Cody's dead. And guess what, Dad? You killed him. Because I was the breakout of Legacy. I was dashing Cody Rhodes. I was the disfigured Cody Rhodes. I had a goddamn mustache, Cody Rhodes. And then you sick this guy who's still stuck in the Attitude Era, this bag of bones. And then I became this. So, this is your fault. And then he like kicked him in the head and walked off. Perfect. perfect setup. Perfect. There's rumors going around. Like, I was fearful of this match being the end, because the one thing that Dustin Runnels and Cody have always wanted is a one-on-one match against each other at WrestleMania. And I think finally they're going to get it. And I can't wait. Because it's being told so well. Because when you go back and think about it, it has all the points he made were valid. WWE actually listens to its history. Because when you look back, when Cody Rhodes and Goldust were teaming up, it was because the Authority was, fucking them over and firing them and doing all this. And then they got the tag belts, and then they lost them, and then they started losing. And it looked like Cody was going to turn. He half did a little bit, but he's just like, my brother, you need a better tag partner. And they start pairing him up with people. He gave him like Sin Cara and I think Santino. I can't remember. But then he's like, no. Tonight, you've got the perfect tag team partner. And that's when Stardust was born. And it looks like that this is good. It's eating up in Cody. So he's like telling his father, it's like, you sacked me with him because of the Authority. And now I'm stuck with him, carrying his shit around. That's why I'm pissed at him. That's why I attacked him. Good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I can't wait to see what happens at WrestleMania. Up next, the tag titles are on the line. The Usos with Trinity/Naomi against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd with Natalya in their corner. So, I haven't been following Raw and SmackDown all that much. Work-related stuff, and I've been doing stuff that makes me miss Raw, and I try to catch the replays, but it's really hard. From what I heard, this all started with a failed double date, and at first I thought, is this shit that's going on Total Divas right now? Because I stopped watching. I watched maybe the first episode of the new season with Paige and Alicia Fox joining, and I was not funny for some reason. They stopped breaking kayfabe. They were just like, okay, it's Paige, not Brittany. It's Alicia, not whatever her kayfabe name is. Excuse me. So I don't know. But apparently this was like a really poorly written segment on SmackDown when Cesaro shows up and just fucking levels Jimmy Uso. And like all the fake actors are like, hey, are you okay? What happened? It's like, do you not see this gigantic Swiss guy? This gigantic bald Swiss Superman just fucking uppercut him? Call the police! Oh yeah, this is they mention, oh, we don't go to our HR department when something happens, we settle in the ring. No more was that ever true with Alberto Del Rio and that social media guy and the racial slurs that went on. That never got taken to HR. They just fucking fired Del Rio and then they fucking fired the guy. Oh, I gotta go back to some tweets I made. So, during the start of the Stardust Goldust match, JBL brings up Bret and Owen wrestling in a steel cage match at SummerSlam 94 with the WWE title on the line. And then he starts to name other brother teams that fight. Like the Steiners, the Briscoes, the Hardys. I think he mentioned the Hardys. The Von Erichs, although I don't think the Von Erichs ever fought. I'm just naming off brothers and family teams right now. Then Cole says, of course what John means is Bret Hart and Owen Hart. Really? And someone tweeted to me, I thought he meant Bret Michaels. I was jokingly. I'm like, really, Cole? You don't think anyone's watching your product when JBL brings up Bret and Owen? They don't immediately think Bret and Owen Hart? How many other Brets and Owens do you know in pro wrestling? Not many. Not many, at least with the lineage of the Hart family. Fucking clown shoes. Whether it's Vince or Dunn or Stephanie or Hunter, who's ever feeding them these lines, shut up. Fucking shut up. I know this is a practice, and beyond the mat, broke kayfabe on that. When JR was out with Bell's palsy, he was still technically working, feeding lines to Lawler and Cole. But my God, can anyone have an original fucking thought in their mind when they do commentary? Oh yeah, and I had to respond to Christy _NF, who I follow on Twitter, because he said, why is Big Show and Kane still wrestling? And I said, they think they still draw. Silly creative. I took water. Okay. The fuck that was... Oh, I missed out before we get back into the tag match. They had... Because Seth Rollins said on Raw Monday that, oh, I'm untouchable. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. Hell, I might just show up on The Daily Show and take over for Jon Stewart. They have to jizz all over themselves because a real celebrity responded to them, and it wasn't hey, he's going to guest host Raw. It's great to be here on Monday Night Raw. Go buy my book. I don't watch your shit. Jon Stewart cuts a promo on him, and then Seth responds back. And this is deemed worthy of the pay-per-view. And I tweet, WWE now, oh my god, real celebrities know who we are. Exploit it. Alright, so let's go back to tag match. Usos, Cesaro, and Tyson Kidd. Loving that Cesaro has his own pair of beats. And I guess Natalia's heel now? Because of the date, she's like, I just wanted to have a nice dinner and walked off. She's still kind of playing the whole naive, hey, I'm face, but I'm with a heel husband, and I don't know. Maybe they're back together on the Total Divas, because Total Divas dictates what the current Divas are doing. Oh, and I had to say this, during Cesaro's time in the ring, it's just like, oh, so Cesaro had a hell of a 2014. He won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Yeah. And then you instantly buried him. You put him with Heyman, and you shat all over him. You took away the big swing. It's the thing that the OSW review guys keep bringing up. Is that clip before their ECW December to Dismember was Vince in the ring saying, you don't like what you like. I tell you what you like. But I'm happy for them because they actually won the titles. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro won the belts. Pretty good match. Again, it's nothing to super write home about. It's your typical Uso match. Super kicks aplenty, and cross bodies and suicide dives. Entertaining match. Really nothing for the Divas to do. Natty and Naomi didn't do anything. They were just there because they're married to these guys. It's kind of funny because, like, when the Usos are doing their, their Samoan battle cry, and only after when they say, and we all say, ooh, you say so, ooh, and then that's when Naomi runs in. She's like, I'm here too, guys. But yeah, awesome. Cesaro and Kidd got the tag belts. Unfortunately, they'll be on the pre-show at Mania because fuck the tag division, right? Okay, up next, Triple H versus Sting in a 30-minute promo. This was the selling point of this pay-per-view, is for Sting to come out and do nothing, and take his bat out and point to the WrestleMania sign, meaning I want to fight you at WrestleMania. Not that I'm going to WrestleMania. Well, Triple H comes out and he cuts out and does his entire time to play the game entrance, but to the Authority theme, the other Motorhead song, Bow Down to the King, the one that Lemmy cannot remember the lyrics to. What am I doing? Direct message. Okay, so this is funny. Because he said, he tells him, it was like, oh yeah, you were the flagship of WCW and I helped bury it and you went down with the sinking ship. I really wanted Sting to grab the mic and actually cut loose and work, what you want to call it, the real reason he never went to WWE. And he explained it in his TNA DVD when he was only 1 year with the company, because that's what they like to do. It's like, oh, you've been with us for a year, let's make a DVD out of you. He explained that he knew after the sale of WCW that none of the guys, non-WWE guys that built the company in the Monday Night Wars, would be treated with any respect. And they weren't for the longest time. You had DDP, who basically was shat over the entire time he was there. Booker T, shat on the entire time. Well, the entire time the invasion angle was going on. And as soon as he got brought back up, then he started to get a little bit more brass. God, who else can I see that picked up? Lance Storm, shat on. Mike Awesome, shat on. Can't say much for Billy Kidman because he eventually came back up, but he's a road agent now. The only one I think that they brought up from the sale that they treated with any respect was Arn Anderson. They made him an announcer when they were like having WCW matches, and they just told him, you're just going to be a road agent. So they actually gave him some respect. Everyone else, no. And that's what he said, because he's like, I remember the night that Booker T was on SmackDown, because he was about ready to fight The Rock at SummerSlam with the WCW title on the line. And The Rock came out and said, who in the blue hell are you? And that's kind of why I like NXT a lot more than main WWE right now. Because they bring in guys like Kenta and Prince Devitt. I said his name right once. Kevin Steen. El Generico. Well, yes, they are changing their look up quite a bit. They are giving them names and different personas. Well, Sami Zayn will never break kayfabe. He says that he was never El Generico, that El Generico just moved back to Mexico. And then you get like Kenta to Hideo Itami, and Prince Devitt to Finn Balor. They are reinventing them, but they're not ignoring their past. That's the one thing I hated about the first season of NXT, because you had Daniel Bryan on there, who was well known all over the world for Noah and Ring of Honor and Dragon Gate and all these independent promotions that were just fighting and clawing their way. And he did stuff with WWE. He had pretty good matches against Jamie Noble and John Cena. There's an infamous match on YouTube of John Cena. If you can get past Ernest the Cat Miller's horrible color commentary, hippity hoppity hoopity, what's wrong, my man not singing? It's like he's wrestling. It's like, oh wait, we don't call these velocity matches. Really good match. Go find it on YouTube. But as soon as Daniel Bryan came in, he's just like, it's like, I have been working hard for the last 8 years to own my craft. And Matt Striker saying, let's be honest, you haven't been anywhere. Which leads, like, it just gives a bad impression of the WWE audience. It's just like, you have to be in WWE to mean anything. Your legacy means nothing. You can work for 20 years, and until you make it to WWE, you don't mean shit. And anything you've done before that doesn't mean anything. At least with NXT, I mean, they'll have the snarby little heel commentator be like, what has he done? It's like, Triple Crown winner in Japan. He's been wrestling for about 12 years. Yeah, but what has he done here? It's like, nothing. But he actually is a good wrestler. Well, he hasn't done anything here, he hasn't done anything, period. I'm like, oh, well, just, yeah, thanks for flushing the last 12 years of my work down the toilet, yeah, fucking tool. Hey, what was your last match, Alex Riley? Oh. But yeah, okay, so let me go back to Sting. So, he doesn't say anything in this whole promo. He just points to the WrestleMania sign, telling Triple H, we're going to fight WrestleMania. And Triple H is like, okay. But the funny thing is like, Triple H was just like, he's like, we can do business together. Just think of it. DVDs. The WWE Network for only $9.99 after February. Merchandising. Action figures. You name it. I'm like, merchandising. You not see the Sting masks in the crowd that they probably paid $12 for? Do you not know you just released the Best of Sting DVD? Do you not know that there's a 30-minute preview on the WWE Network for only $9.99, Michael? Do you not know that the way that you introduced that Sting was with the company is that he was a pre-order DLC for WWE 2K15? Or the fact that you announced that at San Diego Comic-Con last year that he will be part of the Mattel toy line. You're offering him shit he already has. You could have just said, it's like, I know we made this Legends deal with you, and we made all this shit, but I can make it go away just like that. And he actually does say that. He's just like, we could do this the hard way, and I'll erase you from history. Just like Chris Benoit. He didn't actually say that, but he's just like, Sting will never exist. And I had to retweet Chrissy's tweet again. It's like, you tell him Sting isn't going to WrestleMania. You tell him Bourne Stevenson's going to WrestleMania. But you don't know. That's a play on a promo he did in TNA, his very first run. Because he had a match and then he left. He's just like, I'm done wrestling. I just want to spend time with my kids. And Jeff Jarrett's just like, I ain't buying that. Alex Shelley, your new gimmick's paparazzi, right? All right, take your camera, go film Sting. And he shows him at, like, his house and all that. And then, like, the one vignette, it was just like, he's filming him. And then he's just like, oh shit, he saw me. And he runs up, he grabs the camera, and he's just like, do you think this is funny? You spying on me and my family? Yeah, you tell Jarrett I'm coming to Lockdown, or whatever the pay-per-view was. He's like, but you told him Sting's not coming. Steve Bourne's coming. And then, like, the camera cuts away, and, like, all of Jarrett's crew is just like, oh no. And then, like Jackie Gata, who just under their contract was theirs or something, was all excited, but she ended up getting fired off camera anyway because she got preggers in real life. Yeah, I gotta fix that leak in the thing. And hang on, my lights are fucked up. Ow. I need new lights. Okay. Alright, next up is Paige versus failed storyline. Nikki Bella. And I said last pay-per-view that I would completely skip over it and talk about the Divas match from NXT. Unfortunately, I canceled my WWE network, so I don't get NXT anymore. But I heard that the four-way women's championship belt match was phenomenal. I did see the ending, because I did see Sasha Banks' promo. Her work promo, and then her shoot promo. Her, like, I'm the boss now, I got the belt. And then Renee Young's like, alright, let's break kayfabe, how do you actually feel? And then watching her break down, be like, I worked for this my whole life. So that's why I love the NXT women's division. They give a shit. The fans give a shit. When this comes on, Paige versus Nikki, you know what I do? Piss break. Trim the beard. I do something else. When NXT, that's what other people do in the arena. They go up and get their popcorn. Or go get another beer to numb the pain of this match. And my God, like in NXT, when the women come on, they sit and stay because they know that they're going to get entertained, that they're actually going to wrestle, not flop around like a bunch of girls. They have this ad campaign that's like train like a girl or be like a girl, and all about the NXT girls and their actual training. I cannot wait until they start weeding out all the supermodels and the girls that can't wrestle, and then bring these ones up. But some of them are probably never going to get called up. Because apparently, Kevin Dunn, fucking buck-toothed motherfucker, cannot stand Charlotte. She's like, she doesn't look like a supermodel. I'm like, no, she doesn't. She's ripped. She's athletic. She's a fucking wrestler. Do you know why Triple H called up Charlotte and Sasha and Alexa Bliss to be his harem girls? Because he goddamn respects them. Those are technically, he calls the NXT people his kids. And I respect that. By God, I don't think there's going to be real change in WWE until Vince and Kevin Dunn are gone. I swear, when Vince is gone, if Kevin's still with the company, Hunter's just going to boot him out. Let's see. I think all my tweets were about we love Paige. We hate the fucking women's division. And it's funny. This is the second time Lillian fucked up her announcing. Because when Cesaro and Tyson Kidd won the tag belts, she said, "Here, the winners of this match, and still new tag team champions." And this one, they're like, it's the it's Scott Steele's it's the WWE Women's Champion. I'm like, oh, they brought back the women's belt. Get rid of that fucking butterfly belt. The match was shit. Alright, so before I continue on, I took you with my buddy Remy. We need to take the quote-unquote veterans and send those assholes back to NXT to learn how to fucking wrestle. And swap them with the girls down there now. Let's get Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and Charlotte and Bayley and Alexa Bliss. And Carmella and Blue Pants gotta stay there for a little bit longer. And for God's sakes, who's ever doing the music, if you could pick a different song for Carmella that's not a blatant ripoff of that Iggy Azalea's fancy song, fine. It's so perfect sound-alike that motherfucking kids with AMV Hell are using it in their videos next to the fancy song. Oh yeah. Apparently Eva Marie is still employed with WWE. She's got to pay for them tits somehow. Her and Cameron, Miss, I'm going to do a leg split with you face down and tell the ref to count. They're at the Oscars tonight. On the red carpet with E. Because apparently even with the Oscars are tonight, Fastlane's tonight, and a motherfucking boxing page review's on tonight. And you still think people are going to watch Total Divas tonight? Fuck you. Retweet from the great wrestling gifs. Why the fuck are divas from Total Divas at the Oscars? They can't act for shit. Next up, it's the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, with "I'm afraid I've got some bad news." Wade Barrett. Barrett Barrage. IC belt on the line. I think the Divas match killed the crowd because they weren't really into this match. It was alright for me. God damn it. I always think I put this lid on right, and it never stays on. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. That should work. Anyways. This one went pretty quick for me. DQ finish because he refused to break the 5 count. The whole night, people are going, "I got till 5, ref. I got till 5. Dean Ambrose doesn't think of this. He's like, "Do I have until 5? I don't know. I'll keep kicking it until..." Oh, wait. You serious? I only got 5? Oh. We'll live and learn next time. So apparently he DDTs him, which... He changed it from a front face DDT to a regular underarm hook DDT. And they still call it the same name, Dirty Deeds. Okay. Throughout this commentary, they were talking about Manchester United and football. I'm like, I'm surprised I only got one retweet on this. I'm like, "Dear at WWE, I will gladly pay you more money for the WWE Network if you give me a feed without commentary on it. Any of the shows without commentary. So let me enjoy the show. I don't care about these people getting their fucking shitty jokes in." I think I tweeted to Takahata. He's just like, "Can you call..." Takahata 101 was telling the announcers, "Call the fucking match." And I said, "Well, they need all that time to call their shitty wrestling spots in, right?" So, after this, the lights go out, and I'm like, what the hell? Blue light starts filling up, and then I hear the... Melanie groaning. I kind of a little bit marked out a bit, but then I kind of brought it back down, and I was just like, no, It's not Taker. It's Bray Wyatt. Melanie heard the cryptid chants and then heard the gong, and then she came out and was like, she's like, is it Undertaker? And I'm like, probably not. And then this small casket comes out, and I'm like, yeah, it's definitely not Taker. Opens up as Bray Wyatt, and he does this cryptic little thing. It's like, oh, you're not a monster. You're immortal. You can be beaten now. So I challenge you to WrestleMania. I translated it from the crazy Louisiana promos he cuts. I don't know how to feel about this, because, to be honest, I think Taker's done. There's really no reason for him to come back, because the streak is no longer a drawing point. He really has no reason to call Bray's challenge. Here's how I think he would accept it. They'll have to break kayfabe a little bit. Bray kidnaps Michelle. Because you'll know, Michelle McCool, former Diva Women's Champion, probably, in my opinion, one of the worst female wrestlers ever.
Agreed.
Stealing AJ Styles' finishing move, but doing it cleaner and not breaking anyone's necks. Is the wife of The Undertaker. His third wife. Because he had a wife prior to wrestling. And a kid with him. Or her. Then we all remember Sarah, which I don't remember her real name. Or last name. So whenever we made her and create a wrestler, we named her Sarah Undertaker. But then she broke kayfabe and called Undertaker Mark. They go on that. They have a kid. And then he divorced her and then hooked up with Michelle. That's how I see Taker accepting this challenge, is that gotta kind of break kayfabe a little bit. Kidnap Michelle, and it's like, you want this pretty little thing back? You faced me at Mania. Will he come out as a dead man? I don't know. Could we see the return of Dead Man Inc.? Keep rolling, 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 rolling. He better not come out to Limp Bizkit. Although he could give Fred Durst something to do. Instead of, like, growing a beard and looking twice his age. So yeah, that was that, and they put him back in the casket and shut the lid, and you get the whole dip. And immediately after this, they cut to the pre-show team as the Druids are pushing the casket back through to Gorilla, and the music is still going, oh, and they're like, oh, ominous, the place is buzzing, but let's talk about the next match. I'm like, supernatural shit is happening. You don't say anything. You let Taker's shit happen. Fuck your analysis. Your analyses are always bullshit anyway. Alright, and I say it's time for Rocky 4, and this joke's getting, oh no, Ivan Drago, Rocky Balboa. Although, spoiler alert, John Cena will be playing the role of Apollo Creed in this episode of Rocky 4. I don't get why. This is for the United States Championship. The title that they kick in the fucking river along with the IC belt at this moment. It's not important anymore. You really need to merge those belts. Get Sheamus back, because he was talking about merging the belts. Merge them. The roster is so thin. Why do they deserve boxing intros? Like the intros that people get as soon as they're in the ring. It's for the United States title. And why wouldn't you do this for the tag titles or the IC belt? I guess it's John Cena probably. Okay. Crowd was loud for this. But holy shit, not loud enough. I could hear every single spot John Cena was calling. Like, right before he whips Rusev, it's just like, give me an elbow. Or when they're down on the mat, he's like, shoulder block. It's like, shut up. Okay. I know vets and guys that have been around the business a long time hate it when the younger guys, especially in the indies, call the entire match backstage beforehand. I understand why. Because you can't think on your feet. But when your crowd's that dead and you hear, give me an elbow, then you're telling them it's fake. I understand, in a sense, completely rehearsing the match backstage and doing it shot for shot. is telling them that it's predetermined. But my God, there's got to be some type of middle ground. I retweeted to Matthew at Botchamania. You're going to have a lot of John Cena talks too much for your next Botchamania. And the whole time that they're calling their spots, Lawler's covering up for them, going like, oh, he's talking to himself. He's talking to himself. Can we... I know you do this for SmackDown. You gotta artificially bump up the audio to make the crowd seem like they're more interested. Can you not boost the crowd's audio? I know that you tried a little bit because I can hear like the one guy going, ah, you suck. Or what was it? It's like, I'm afraid I got some bad news, Barrett. You suck. Fine, I'll handle that, and I'll handle the 8-year-old going, I hate you, Batista. I hate you too. I can handle that, but God. And then I retweeted him saying, the only thing louder than Cena's spot calling is his shirt. So, I said in many a review that Rusev was being built up for Cena and for Cena to kill. It ain't happening tonight. It's definitely happening at Mania. But my God, Cena actually lost via submission. As Lana came in and distracted the ref, Rusev kicked him in the nuts and kicked him in the face and applied the acolyte. Sorry. You can call it the acolyte all you want. It's a goddamn camel clutch. He put John Cena in camel clutch, break his back, fuck his ass, make him humble. And Melanie's trying not to laugh. What she really should be doing is getting my goddamn Aeropat. And I should put it on and start going all Iron Sheik on this bitch. Fuck the John Cena! Piece of shit. No, it's fine. It's fine. So he's actually gonna go get it. And I tweeted, it's over. John Cena's kryptonite has been discovered. It's Russians. Although I really should correct it. It's Bulgarians pretending to be Russian. And I said, I put this out here, and I'm putting this out on video. Right now. If you know any good artists, or if you're an artist yourself, I want to see this. I will be searching every single day on Google until I see this. I present to you the cover for Death and Return of Superman. Very iconic. Superman's cape, torn. Superman, battered, bloody, bruised. Presumably dead. Spoiler alert, Kryptonian healing factor, or Kryptonian coma, whatever. Lois Lane, crying over a dead Superman. What I want is this to be one of John Cena's Fruity Pebble t-shirts. This to be Lois Lane replaced with Nikki Bella and Superman replaced with John Cena. If you want to put Rusev as Doomsday with a giant Russian flag behind him, I'm all for that too. Artists, get to drawing. I want to see this. Don't you think that would be awesome? Melanie?
Oh, it sounds awesome and
it would be awesome. If I knew how to fucking draw, I would do this. I won't be like WWE Comics and just trace over their stock photos. Someone do this. If you need reference, just Google Death of Superman.
Death of Superman.
I tweeted that out. And then I had to make the funny tweet. John Cena rolling out all battered and bruised. And I say, just give John Cena a Z-Pack. He'll be fine. And I had to retweet this as fact. This is John Cena's first televised loss to a submission hold since No Way Out 2004 to Kurt Angle. It was in 2004 that they competed for the number one contendership for the WWE title at WrestleMania 20. Angle won to go fight Eddie Guerrero. John Cena lost, so he decided to challenge Big Show for the United States title. Cena tapped out 11 years ago. I had to redo my math there. 11 years ago is when he tapped out. So, okay, so I got to comment on this too. There's apparently a lot of negativity backstage when the comment was made of John Cena being an old vet. they're like, oh, we don't want to. It's like, we have to keep John Cena strong, and he's the face of the company. I'm like, I mean, just back up a little bit here. John Cena has been with the WWE since 2002. The night after King of the Ring, the 2 nights after the King of the Ring, when Kurt Angle whipped off his wig and he's like, I'm proud to be bald because I beat Hulk Hogan. So I'm going to issue an open challenge. And out came John Cena. And then that's where, he was wearing, actual wrestling gear. Then he dressed up like Vanilla Ice one year. And he's just like, yeah, I'll be a rapper now. And then he started wearing throwbacks and Dr. Thugonomics. And now he pretended to be an army soldier or something. I don't know. Anyway. But he's been around. Oh, my math. Fuck. 13, 14 years he's been around. He is an old vet. He's at that age now where he probably should be stepping back to the mid-card and just having good stories, good matches. He doesn't need to be the champion anymore. I think if they told him, honestly, and this is the person I kind of think John Cena is, if they asked him, hey, we want you to be the WWE champion again, I think out of respect for Flair, he would say no. Even though Flair's last couple of title wins were when they were playing hot potato with the World Heavyweight belt, still, I think John Cena's a big enough man to say, you know what, I'm good with 15 title wins. I don't need it anymore. Honestly, it's at this point now where he's the Hogan of the WWE. He's been Hogan for many, many years. He's kind of got to go back. He can come in sporadically and do stuff. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. He's got to be on the forefront. And I tweet out, up next, it's the people's choice versus the company's choice. It's Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, with Roman Reigns' Royal Rumble win up for grabs. Which has not been the first time that this has happened. Why can't they just have something in the contract where if you win the Royal Rumble, that's it. You are locked into the main event. Nobody can change that. Because I was actually talking to my buddy Vito on here. That because he mentions like, oh, the Royal Rumble winner wasn't going to win. And I was like, well, if you think back in 2002, after the Royal Rumble, Mr. McMahon put Triple H's Royal Rumble win up for grabs against Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle won. But then Ric Flair, being 50-50 owner of the company, reversed it and said, you know what, you're putting your WrestleMania shot on the line against Triple H tonight on Raw. And what was funny is that the WrestleMania website actually changed it to play along with it and said the main event will be Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho for the Undisputed title. And then Triple H won it back on Raw. Making that match completely pointless. Okay, I think I can put this down now, since I'm all done. So yeah, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, winner goes on to WrestleMania. And I think we all know that it was going to be Roman Reigns. Spoiler alert, it was Reigns. But I gotta say, it was one hell of a match. And I knew it was going to be Reigns for this reason. The Philly crowd really, really killed Roman's moment. Because they were a mark crowd. They were like, no, we want the internet's choice to win. And I understand that people wanted Bryan to win too. I don't think WWE, though, quite understood the backlash of Daniel being eliminated so early. But, unfortunately, I did tweet out, I did get something wrong. I said Sheamus was going to interrupt the match. I think there was going to be a ref bump. Sheamus was going to come in, screw over Bryan, and give Roman the win. That would have killed Roman even more, but it would have set up for what they initially wanted last year, which was Bryan, Sheamus, number 3. Because the first one was on the pre-show, which really pissed Sheamus off a whole lot, because he's just like, last year I was in a high-profile match with Triple H, and now you're telling me I'm not even opening show, I'm not even on the main show. I think that and they said that irked them a little bit. And then they had their 18-second match, and they're just like, motherfucker, what do I have to do to get over? So that's probably happening now. But I saw this I saw this coming a mile away. I don't think they were going to put Daniel in that moment. And you know what? I hope the fans accept this. You know what? I'm going to just check Twitter right now and see if cancel WWE Network is trending or not. Takahata put it on Twitter as kind of jokingly. I really hope it's not on there sincerely. I'm still canceled to mine because I can't afford it. I can't afford paying the $9.99 and the $5 to the DNS. Like, I gotta wait and save for it. I can't. How do I find? My phone froze. Oh, I can't check trends. I'll check it later. I'm confident it's not trending right now. I hope. But yeah. I just put cancel WWE Network because that was trending at the time on my YouTube. You know, I want to bring in views. But it was a great match. It made both of them look really good. It made Roman Reigns look really strong. And it kind of did. Because he was able to power out of submissions. He was able to counter stuff. Like, they slugged it out. He caught it with a surprise spear. 1, 2, 3. Reigns solidifies his spot. He will face Brock Lesnar at Mania. And the cool thing, though, is that Bryan gets up, and you thought, oh, okay, maybe they're gonna do the handshake. No, he saunters over. He shoves Roman. I'm like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen here? He points to the Mania sign. He points to Roman, and he says, you better kick his ass. Extends his hand. They shake. He powders out. Roman gets his moment. And we're off to the races. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of the show because they had to advertise every fucking thing that's coming up from WrestleMania. Because they made it official. Triple H versus Sting. And now we know it will be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at Mania. But what else will happen? Will The Undertaker answer Bray Wyatt's message? I was just like, you would have gone home like 5 minutes ago. This show ran the full 3 hours. And they're still yapping. I'm like, isn't that something for the pre-show to do? So that was Fastlane, formerly Elimination Chamber, formerly No Way Out, which I think they should have gone back to No Way Out, because No Way Out was a good pay-per-view. No Way Out gave us 3 stages of hell with Triple H and Stone Cold, which should have been saved for Mania. That match was way too good. But we had to deal with the Stone Cold heel turn that nobody bought. Fastlane. Good matches. It wasn't a show that was going to blow anyone away. It was adequate. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. It was adequate. You got your money's worth, which was nothing because this month was free for new subscribers. Mania, I have no idea what else we got to look forward to besides Bray Wyatt, Undertaker, Triple H, Sting, and Lesnar, Roman Reigns. I don't think they're going to do Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan because I think the authority thing is still going to go on. I know we'll probably get Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. Could it be for the briefcase? Maybe. Because, as many of you may or not know, Seth Rollins got into some hot water with a leaked nude selfie of him. And I think they call her an NXT diva, but she hasn't been on TV. Like, I'm sorry, like they say that they have like how many wrestlers do you have down there? Like 70? It's like, okay, then why do you only use 13 of them sparingly? And now Rhino's back, the War Beast Rhino. Like, this chick is all tatted up. She looks like shit. She hasn't been on TV. And then, like, some nudes got leaked on his Instagram. And then his now ex-fiancée put a nude photo of him on the internet. So apparently he's in deep shit. He's been fined and possibly will not get his title shot. To be honest, I don't think he was ever going to cash in Money in the Bank and win. He's got until June, July to cash it in. Because you only got 1 year to cash it in. It'd be funny if he didn't cash it in. If he just plain forgot. And like they opened up the contract and it's like, oh, this was for June 23rd. We're the 24th. This contract's expired. He's like, no! What do I do now? Like, get over with your talent. I have no talent. Oh, I just kidding. He's really talented. And the whole time I was recording this, I finally fixed my mug. I think. Yeah, he fixed it. It's supposed to be over the Mega Man logo, not the Blade Man logo. Anyways, that's Fastlane. 5 weeks left until Mania, and my work schedule has now put me back working on Sunday, so I can't fucking watch it. They must know that Mania is coming up, because I always get shat on at my work. Anyways, that was it. Pay-per-view was adequate. A solid 7. I don't like rating stuff. I just like to say if it was good or bad. I don't like putting numbers on anything. I'm not that way. I like the things I like and I hate the things I hate. Why do I have to put an arbitrary number to say how much I like or hate it? I don't know. Anyways, you guys have a good one. I will hopefully try to do a WrestleMania one. Well, actually, with my schedule, I can catch the replay. So I will have to stay off Twitter the whole time. And I know for a fact I won't get off early at work. But I might arrange something else. But, you guys have a good night. And, we're on the road to WrestleMania. We're off the Fastlane and all those other names. Later.